Remedies received from unlawful actions by government agencies, corporations, and schools using methods learned from Dave Jose. Meet Dave Jose. Dave Jose has diligently studied our constitutional rights, legal systems, and the fundamental principles of law applicable in America. Dave has a God-given understanding regarding the true intent, nature, and design of our governmental system as established by the Founding Fathers. The decision. Dave experienced judicial corruption firsthand. This experience spurred him on to his diligent studies regarding the law, legal systems, law principles, and word tricks the legal system uses against we the people. Dave made a decision to help others by teaching them what he himself has learned. Notices and affidavits. Dave started teaching people the power and authority they have as declared in our state's Bill and Declaration of Rights. He teaches people how to use a notice, which is a formal warning and/or instruction, peacefully, using our constitutional declared rights, written without attorneys or lawyers, to instruct and educate our elected servants and others regarding these rights. Dave teaches how to follow up with an affidavit, which is a declaration or statement of fact, written without any attorney, to declare our rights stated in our constitutions. Success with Child Protective Services using notices and affidavits. Over 100 families who have had their children unlawfully removed by CPS have had their children returned by utilizing Dave's methods with notices and affidavits based on our constitutional rights. The Arizona audit using notices and affidavits. Dave taught people how to stand on their rights and use notices and affidavits to get an audit of the 2020 presidential election in Arizona with only 127 affidavits. Dave Jose and Josh Barnett also spent many hours educating the people and the legislators regarding the people's constitutional rights, rightful power, and authority. This is an example of Dave Jose teaching the people, attorneys, and legislators.
But why should you have a state constitution that binds all the officers of the state and nobody knows what it says? So when you want to tell what's not right, you don't know what to say because nobody taught you. So then you have to beg for remedy. Now, it's crazy to me because there was an audit in Arizona, which they said there was never one before. So if there was never an audit in Arizona before, how did we get one? I can tell you that Josh Barnett and I wrote the affidavits and served them at Karen Phan's house and told her, and we also CC'd Donald Trump and ordered him to pick up the ballots, and we can show the documents. We can show where we talked to the people in the White House when they had the fight with Sidney Powell. We can show you Patrick Byrne there. We can show you all the events that happened, and we can show you the affidavits and notices that we did.
This is an example of Dave Jose teaching on the purpose of government and the responsibility and power of the people.
It is not the government service making a decision on if you guys will have what's right or not.
That's right.
I want to read something to you guys from your forefathers. Because here's the issue. You're asking, what can we do, what can we do, what can we do? And the door shuts. Nobody tells you. So then we have to ask the government to ask another group of people in the government who are getting money and all types of issues, what can we do? I'm going to read this to you guys, and it should forever change your life. The issue we have here, ballot boxes being wrong, is what's called maladministration. The issue with them voting incorrectly, maladministration. Not following the advice and the law of the legislature, maladministration. That's not a word you hear much. When you have maladministration in a state, it is not the duty of the state to fix it. They should fix it, but the liability falls on the people who control the state. And that's not the government. So I'm going to read this to you guys, and you'll know what you can do from now on. That government is, or ought to be, instituted for the common benefit, protection. Are they protecting you when things are not right? and security of the people, nation, or community. Did that name a state or did it say everybody? People, nation, or community. Of all the various modes and forms of government, that is best which is capable of producing the greatest degree of happiness and safety. Are you happy and safe when your elections are... Nobody's arguing that everything was done wrong. We're not trying to say we know who committed fraud. We're saying everybody agrees that you didn't follow the law, right?
Helping businesses stay open. Dave Jose and Josh Burnett helped over 100 businesses stay open during the COVID shutdowns using private membership associations, also known as PMAs.
It was very, very difficult as a, sole proprietor, as I am myself. We don't get paid if we don't work. So you have the same. Well, how was that for you?
Well, if I would have known you before, you would have never shut down.
Oh, well.
So
I'm glad I know you now.
Yeah, so if we had monkeypox nonsense is happening.
Timing is everything.
Yeah,
I
can help you, and they'll never shut you down ever again. What they tried to pull that stuff with me, and Governor Ducey deemed my gym non-essential. And I always tell people I think I'm pretty essential. And my members think we're pretty essential. So my good friend David Jose, who Ron knows, David Jose is a constitutional genius. He's very good with it. And we kind of came up with this plan. Well, we're going to move your business into the private as a private association. And here in Arizona there's a statute, ARS 26317. You can look it up. The first half says they can fine you, they can cite you, they can give you a misdemeanor, they can shut you down because you're in commerce with the state under an LLC or an S Corp, et cetera. But the second part of that says, in a private association, a member thereof, you can opt out of emergency order.
Oh.
COVID mandate successes using notices and affidavits. There are many who have followed what Dave taught, using notices and affidavits to stop the unlawful mandates of vaccines being required by their employer, vaccines being required for admission of their child into an educational facility, mask mandates from various retailers, employers, and schools. School success stories using notices and affidavits. The following schools dropped their mask mandates after receiving notices and affidavits from parents. Homedale ISD in New Jersey, they removed mask mandates. Fairlawn ISD in New Jersey, mask mandates were removed. Howard College, a religious exemption was given for 9 students because their parents gave notices and affidavits. And notice, not everybody got those exemptions, just these 9 students because their parents utilized the notices and affidavits. There were hundreds of individual religious exemptions approved across the nation, and it was just for the individuals using the notices and affidavits. This is a testimony in a Dave Jose video by a concerned mom with success using notices and affidavits for a college mandate exemption.
I just wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about how to win in this country with David Jose affidavits. This is about learning your rights and standing in your grace and standing in the Constitution and winning against these unconstitutional mandates.
Mandate removal successes using notices and affidavits. Trader Joe's. Customers served notices. Mask mandates were removed nationwide. Southwest Airlines. Pilots, flight attendants, and other employees submitted notices. Vaccine mandates were removed. OSHA, which stands for Occupational Safety and Health Administration, dropped their vaccine mandates. Lots of people submitted notices to OSHA. Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield, an employee had a religious exemption approved because they submitted a notice and affidavits. United Auto Workers Union, UAW, forced mandates were stopped because they received notices and affidavits. General Motors Corporate stopped pursuing vaccine statuses of employees because they received notices. Ford Motors dropped vaccine mandates because they received notices and affidavits. Miscellaneous successes using notices and affidavits. Dental appointments. A lady was allowed entrance to her dental appointment with no mask requirements because she submitted a notice before she went into the appointment advising them of her constitutional rights. Another person was transferred from one hospital to another because a notice and affidavit was submitted. The hospital did not want to transfer this individual to another hospital. A man won $16,500 in arbitration because he was denied a job for not getting the vaccine. He submitted notices and affidavits, and it ended up going to arbitration, and the employer that did not hire him had to pay him $16,500 because they violated his constitutional rights. Another man got a 5-year vehicle registration and only paid $19.83 in taxes on his brand new truck because of notices and affidavits. A gym owner won $1.4 million in arbitration due to the unlawful business shutdowns, as he had notified them with notices and affidavits. A family was relieved of having to pay $70,000 in attorney fees because they submitted notices and affidavit telling them what their constitutional rights were that were violated. Affidavit Mamas. Dave taught a group of ladies about their constitutional rights and how to use notices and affidavits to correct wrongful actions, and now this group has helped a multitude of people using what they learned from Dave Jose. Affidavit Mama successes using notices and affidavits, and this is just a small portion of it. Over 100 religious freedom notices were provided for many, including professors, medical professionals, and students to stop the mandating of vaccines for them. They help to protect children from being taken from parents unlawfully by CPS, DCS, DHS, all over America. They helped to get one cell tower stopped from being turned into a 5G tower and helped other people stop other 5G towers being installed. They use notices and affidavits to help people keep their jobs based on the right to religious freedom. The Affidavit Mamas are actively teaching people about their rights and how to use notices and affidavits along with teaching and correcting elected officials. And all this was because they learned this from Dave Jose. Video testimonies. Dave has received many videos with testimonies from people which have had success using the notices and affidavits method. The links to some of those videos are in the description box below this video, so please check them out. To learn more about this method, you can go to www.restoremyrepublic.com. There are also many free teaching videos on rumble.com, on the Dave Cares for You channel, and also on odyssey.com under Dave Cares for You channel. Links are provided in the description box below this video. Learn your rights and how to use them like the boss that we, the people, are. Thank you for listening.